Welcome back, everybody, to Televised Magazine. This is Tristan, and I'm here today with my Upside Down. They're a punk rock band from Phoenix, Arizona. Their newest release, Piece by Piece, is out now. Please welcome the band. Can everybody introduce themselves?
What's up? I'm Jared. I'm the singer.
Mhm. I'm Noah. I'm the bassist.
I'm Tess. I'm the guitarist.
Oh, me. I hit the drums.
And I'm Vincent. I'm the lead guitarist.
Sweet. Thank you guys for joining me.
Oh yeah, of course. Thanks
Dude,
for
thank you
having
for
us.
having us. Are you kidding?
Yeah, we mentioned got me like working the late shift, It's like 9:30
I
here,
know.
but
No, I
Bro,
you guys
appreciate
have it easy. It's 7:30 over there.
We're on opposite sides of the world, dude.
I know. So I mentioned it a
right.
second ago. Piece by Piece, the new EP came out in September. It's been dubbed Violent Pop. One huge compliment that I have on it is the stellar production. It sounds fantastic. What was the production and creative process like on that release?
Well, just to kind of take the lead on this because I think, it was really important to match a good production with, the rest of the releases throughout the industry and stuff. I reached out a cold call to actually one of Arizona's more prolific engineers and mixing engineers as well. His name is Corey Spots. And Corey Spots has done a lot of great records for up and coming bands in the Arizona hardcore scene. He did the debut album for Bless the Fall while Craig Mabbitt was still singing for them before Escape the Fate. He did the first two records from legendary hardcore band Job for a Cowboy. He did Can't Stop, Won't Stop by The Maine, which was played at When We Were Young Festival last year. And he also was the lead mixing engineer for Punk Goes Pop Volume 5,
Okay.
which is something that I grew up listening to religiously.
hmm
So,
and you guys got him in there for this one.
yeah,
Yeah.
and we were lucky enough that we just reached out on a cold call and we gave him a budget that was feasible for both of us, and he was gracious enough to accept.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
good. That's great to hear. And the work paid off because it shows.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we had to like kind of fit into this larger than life like world, because
Mhm.
when we think about the music that we're making, there's so many strong bands in this like genre, and we just wanted to make something that was undeniable and have that sound too.
Yeah, and you guys are still
Right.
fairly new. When did you guys form again?
That's a
I
complicated
mean,
question.
it's complex.
So,
Yeah.
I think the first time we ever took shape was in February of 2023.
hmm
And that was right as we became kind of a band that could perform live.
hmm
And we've gone through a couple iterations, but this band sitting before you right here has
Before
actually
you.
been together less than 2 months.
Yeah.
Wow.
Mhm. So we're still a little new, but
That part blows my mind because I never would have guessed it based on how professional it's been working with you guys, how great the sound is. My one question I have for being so new is where do you guys see yourself in 5 years? What's the growth like for my Upside Down?
Well, I see us playing around the world.
5 years.
I
Let's
see
go.
us in the conversation for one of the bands that are bringing this style of music back.
Mhm.
And I see us just connecting with a bunch of people and helping to make a positive change in somebody's life who needs this type of music.
hmm
Mhm.
And whatever that looks like, that's something that I can find some happiness in. But that's me personally.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen people say nostalgia has like a 20-year cycle. It's why that 70s show was big in the 90s, and it's why 80s music kind of had a renaissance in the 2000s. We should be hitting that 20-year cycle with 2000s pop punk like My Chemical Romance, who has their stadium tour coming up. So
Yeah, I
does
got tickets.
you got tickets? Hell yeah. So
I got
does that
tickets.
bode well for you guys having a fan base who's rabid for this kind of music?
It's nice, man. We like to pay homage to the bands that set the tone and that gave us the feeling to even start creating.
hmm
And that's going back to what Noah said. That's one of the reasons why we wanted to make sure that we put out something that was, very solid. And that's why we were so lucky with Corey Spots, because, he helped whip us into shape.
Yeah. To piggyback off of that, when we were setting up this interview, you had mentioned that you guys were workshopping new demos. Is there any information on that process you're able to share at this point?
Well, I will say this. We've been writing as a band, and I've also done some writing myself, and we're bridging the gap between that, and we're getting, it's a thing of chemistry. It's when you've only been around players for X amount of months, not years, you still need to find your footing, especially creatively. But the more we've been playing, the more that we've been writing as a band. I think we've got some very good stuff coming out. Some of it's all been collaborative.
That's good.
Our guitarist here, Tess, took the lead on one of our demos and brought it to us.
Oh yeah.
And we fell in love. And it was just, it was awesome. Just watching it come alive. We are going in July to Los Angeles to do some recording.
Okay.
And we are also doing some recording in August, but that'll probably be more of a demo type of recording, as compared to in July, we'll be recording songs to release.
Okay. And you had mentioned like just learning how to mesh as a group, since some of you have only been here a couple months. Before we started the interview, you guys had mentioned that you're doing band practice tonight. When we're done here, you guys are going to workshop some of the things that may have went right or may have went wrong or may need worked on from the last show you guys did the other day. You've got another show on June 28th. So are all these shows you guys are doing giving you guys that time to gel together?
Oh yeah.
Do
you guys want to speak to that?
I don't know. It's just I've been in and out of bands for, I don't know, the past 4 or 5 years now. And it's that a physical live show in front of an actual audience is the one make or break it test for every single band. If you can't get up there on stage and show the crowd, hey, this is what we're all about, and get your message across, get people engaged with your music, then that's how that's the test to see if you can do that in a live show. So especially like jumping into this band so fast, me and Tess got hired on a while ago. we just I remember
60 days or something.
Yeah, it was it was kind of a crazy process, because I just kind of saw their flyer out for, hey, we need a new guitarist, and I was like, you know what, because I play in another band called Pinup, so that was like my main project, and I was like, you know what, I have some extra time, I'm gonna throw myself at this band, and then I just got sucked in, Then I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah, we're like vampires. You let us in.
So, but getting to play we've only played 2 shows together with this lineup, but in that time, we have gotten so much tighter as a band, gotten to be able to communicate through our music a lot better through playing live shows like that.
So you and Tess are the newbies. Can each of you kind of speak on what it's been like joining the band and what it's been like getting to know the other guys?
I mean, this is my first time ever actually playing kind of in a band, and the way I joined this band is I listened to them before and I saw that they needed a guitarist. So I was like, I'm definitely doing that. And so, it's been kind of like, it's been completely different playing as a band with other people than it has been playing, because I've been playing guitar for like 12 years. And a completely different experience, and there's so much more like connection, and the more we play together, the closer we get kind of as a group. And it's just been really interesting to see how much, especially with shows, like we practice and the shows have kind of they're making us into what we are.
On our chest.
I mentioned the show on June 28th. You guys do have a couple other ones planned. Do you guys want to let people watching know when those are so they can get tickets?
We have a show. We have a show this Monday.
On Monday, okay.
We were playing Rebel Lounge with Phoenix. All the Better Rebel Lounge Phoenix with All the Better. They're doing their kind of summer prom themed show. So
Formal dress up.
Formal dress up. You can read all about it on their Instagram, our Instagram. All so we're very excited for that.
And then we got one that I'm super stoked on. It's a little farther away, but it's in October, and it's with a couple of bands that I actually knew about, and they, you know, we were lucky enough that they reached out to us. It's this band called Oakwood, and it's also these two bands. One's called Wakely, and then the other one is Abby's Garden. And we're again playing at the Rebel Lounge right in the heart of Phoenix. And I'm really excited for all these shows, but that one I think is going to be just pure electricity. I think
I can hear the excitement in your voice.
Yeah.
I know, and we're gonna have so many more so many more practices. We're gonna be so tight. You couldn't pry us apart with the jaws of life.
Yeah. You guys got to get out to the Midwest eventually. I know it'll be soon when you guys do a full tour, but
I want to very badly. I know there are some people on our social media that have been, you know, they're saying come to Chicago, come to Pennsylvania, and I want to. I just know that in order for us to not go bankrupt, we might need just a couple more people to find our stuff. And so that's why I'm always pushing it so hard on social media, because I know that it takes a village. And we're building ours one villager at a time.
One village.
It showed in when I reached out to you guys how I got a response in like 2 hours, and yeah, we couldn't make it happen like that very same day, but just, you know, getting to talk and getting to know you over email, just how much you guys seem to want it, you know?
Oh yeah, we're hungry. Yeah, we're ready to work hard, and you know, we practice a lot, like Tess said, and I mean, everybody makes sacrifices and puts in time and work, and it's so satisfying to have a group of people who are behind you, you know, and supporting those dreams and stuff. So it's great. I love these guys. So
it just sounds like a group of like really close friends who I'm talking to, and not like a question and answer back and forth. I get the vibe that you guys actually enjoy hanging out with each other.
Yeah.
You know, we saw the Minecraft movie the other month.
Dude. Yeah, how was that? I saw it in theaters, but I waited like 3 or 4 weeks, so I didn't have that experience of people throwing popcorn.
You didn't throw the popcorn.
Sitting on each other's shoulders.
No, really though. It was fun.
Yeah, it was great.
See somebody like let loose like a chicken in one of the theaters.
Oh yeah,
I saw that on TikTok. Yeah.
All over my feed,
we saw some kid dressed up as a creeper, and he was watching the movie as a creeper.
Okay, that's a little bit more tame in terms of like
not hiding in the theaters or throwing popcorn.
No one's throwing popcorn. No one's chicken jockeys.
Put out fireworks.
Wow.
So we kind of touched on your guys' influences a little bit earlier. You guys have listed some as like Queen, My Chemical Romance, Rites of Spring. Are there any other artists who have fueled you guys creatively since you got together?
Well, I mean, the song that Tess just brought to us, she was telling me after one of our practices that she was, you know, going for something of like a Silverstein vibe. And I personally loved them growing up. Like, I had their album Discovering the Waterfront on a repeat cycle for so long. So, you know, even though maybe they don't manifest their influence on this band directly, for me personally, I think it's kind of woven into my DNA.
Well, especially is kind of giving me a little bit of Hayley Williams vibes, a little bit of Paramore, a little bit of Flyleaf.
Oh, yeah.
Influences in that one specifically.
Oh, man, I love Flyleaf.
Yeah.
I do love me some Paramore. I had mentioned before we started the interview, like all my posters are down because I'm moving. I have a This Is Why poster. This Is Why is my favorite Paramore album. It's so great.
It's so good.
It's so good. I have the I have it on vinyl. I have it where it's the main album and the remix album, like 2 records in one set.
Nice.
So good. I think it's their newest, so it doesn't have the history that like Riot does or Brand New Eyes does, but it slept on because it's not the same sound.
It's better.
It's more consistent.
It's better. It's more consistent. It's only like 35 minutes.
Oh, I have so many hot takes.
I don't know. I love Riot though. I love Riot.
I do love Riot. I have their whole collection
No,
except
not
the
Red
first
One.
album.
Yeah.
This is why you can listen to
Dude, yeah, the first album,
man.
man. Emergency. That one really caught.
Yeah, I haven't found a copy of it on vinyl yet. I have it on CD, but my CDs got packed up for the move longer from
I will
everywhere.
steal all of those CDs from you.
Really?
Yeah. Like, there's only a couple record shops here that keep them. But yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
I never go looking for those.
Yeah, just dig through the $1 buckets at Sears. for
$1
CDs.
bucket.
Yeah, that's what I
I
do.
feel like I spend way too much money on records. I have to start looking through the $1 bins.
That's where it's at because I keep finding bands that like I just look at the album cover and I'm like, you know what? Let me give these guys a look up on like Apple Music, and I'm like, I'm buying this.
Dude, that's how
Yeah.
it used to be. I
It's
mean,
so
that's what my
good.
dad was telling me. He used to judge it off of the album cover. He's like, should I spend $14 on this?
And I'm right like 40% of the time. That's a pretty high hit rate.
Yeah.
on that.
40%.
Yeah.
I
I found out about 13th Floor Elevators.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like a psychedelic band.
Okay,
and
I
it's
gotta look them up
cool.
now.
It's got the coolest album.
like with how expensive records are, I get paid in a couple hours and I've already got like $80-$90 of my check budgeted to like, all right, I'm getting the new Turnstile. Metallica's got a remaster that comes out next week. I gotta get that too. Do I want like Cameron Winter or something to round out and get 3?
Remaster is coming out.
What's up?
Which Metallica remaster?
Load.
Oh
No!
boy.
Did you say no like bad or no like yes I need it?
No, I don't like Load.
Really?
Well,
I
there's
think Bleeding Me and
There's
Outlaw
some
Torn.
good songs. There are.
Yeah, I think it has more hits than Reload does. Reload.
I don't know. The first one that comes to mind is like.
Dude, you gotta love that album
Fuel.
cover, huh?
Yeah, that album cover. Hey, don't get us demonetized on YouTube for talking
Oh,
about that cover. If you know, you know. If you don't know, I'm sorry. Google it or something.
Yeah.
Maybe.
But yeah, I have the Black Album box set from a few years ago that was like $250 brand new. I found it used for $130, and I'm like, thank God.
That yeah.
We still haven't gotten a good And Justice remaster.
No. Well, there's that there's like the fan bootleg one online with the bass added in.
Yeah, And Justice for Jason.
Yeah.
That,
What?
Like, it's
Justice
so
for
it
Jason.
makes it actually like the best
Listenable?
Metallica album.
So I have the original on CD and I have the remaster on vinyl. The remaster it sounds a little bit more fuller, but there's no remix. It's the same mix.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you don't like the original mix, you won't like the new one. I think the Black Album is probably one of the best mixed albums ever. Like, say what you want about the transition and sound quality and whatnot, but it sounds beautiful.
It's
Yeah.
just so big.
The
like,
drum sound is that's the most
Yep.
polished. I think the drum sound. His performance is
no,
bad.
It's
but-
Lars. So,
but like, man, what was it? Was it Bob Rock producing on that?
Bob Rock did everything from the Black Album through Saint Anger.
Mhm.
mm,
Even played on Saint Anger.
well,
I think
Well,
hated. I kind of messed with the snare sound a little bit.
I
into it.
the songs off of Saint Anger are pretty all right.
The riffs are good.
The riffs are good. They played one at the when they came to Phoenix. They played one. And I was like, oh my god, this is good. What is this? I look at my dad. He's like, no, this is off of Saint Anger. I was like, okay,
yeah.
what's the mix?
So you guys were at those Phoenix shows. Wasn't that the one where James got sick?
Yes, they postponed it by 2 days because he was sick.
Yeah, I think it was.
made his voice
yeah.
raspier and it sounded really cool, but
Yeah.
it was all right.
I remember reading about that because I was at the Dallas one like 2 weeks before. They also played Dirty Window off of Saint Anger at that show. I think the Saint Anger songs, the album didn't need to be. It's like just under an hour and a half long.
Yeah.
And there's no solos, so you're like going back to the same 2 riffs for 8 minutes.
They were also all like in hell during that.
Yeah, they were all like physically and mentally, they were all in hell. They didn't have a bass player.
That's why you gotta have Lars stop like arranging the songs because he's just like, what if we took this part and we just did it like
7 more times.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
You know?
I mean, so
When I
when 72 Seasons came out, I was like, this is great. There's some songs on here that are great, but then there's other songs that I think it's is it You Must Burn or Sleepwalk My Life Away that's like 7 minutes. And it's got like 4.5, 5 minutes of material, but they go back and they like, you think the song's over, and then it hits the chorus again before it goes to the outro, and I'm like,
that's how I felt listening
Metallica.
to Dream Theater live when they played View from the Top of the World live. That song is 18 minutes, and they just go. I mean, it's Dream Theater, so like,
yeah,
they'll go off on just improv and solos and whatnot. But I
Mhm.
like zoned out during the show, and then all of a sudden it just hits the chorus like 8 minutes later. I look at my watch, I'm like, is this the same fucking song?
Yeah, I was gonna see Tool live in June of 2020, and of course, you know, it was 2020. Everything
Yeah.
hit the fan. And they never rescheduled that date in Wichita.
Yeah.
But I can only imagine what live they're like when, you know, Fear Inoculum was like less than a year old at that point. So I'd
Yeah.
imagine they were playing most of that album, and it's like 80 minutes for 7 songs.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So, but I love that album. It's great.
Oh my gosh.
Nice.
That song's so good.
Yeah, man. Now I got to go see Tool sometime.
Real.
They came here. They were
Make
really
sure
fucking good.
you put your house as collateral.
Yes.
Yeah.
Getting expensive.
It's
Oh my
yeah,
God.
it's gonna be expensive. I wanted to see Pearl Jam a couple months ago. They only did like
Since when they were here. I
would have.
what was that?
Smashing Pumpkins, Rancid, and Green Day were here. Like,
Ooh, they came to Kansas City in 2023, and I had seen Hosier like 3 days before, and I couldn't go to both.
Oh man.
Yeah.
I could have done without the Green Day on that though.
I like.
I'm
Green
not the
Day.
biggest.
No,
They were
you-
doing that was when they were doing American Idiot and what's the other album? In full. They were doing 2 albums back front to back in full on the shows.
Are they doing
So-
Duke? I don't
See?
remember.
It was Dookie. It was Dookie and American Idiot. Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
Those
That's
are the two
like
best
top
albums.
tier.
Yeah, the
That's-
2 albums that hit.
I'm
off-
partial.
yeah.
See, dude, you gotta push
Uh,
Rancid off of that if they're doing that.
Yeah.
Which
Okay,
Rancid is okay.
I
No,
don't know.
Rancid is
I
good.
feel like I would want to see Rancid for Ruby Soho alone, and I could kind of do without Smashing Pumpkins.
What?
Oh.
Yeah, I know. Well, okay. I mean, the only album of theirs that I really love is Siamese Dream, but
Gish
What?
is good. Give Gish a chance.
give Gish a chance. Okay,
Okay, it's really good,
It's
especially the
okay.
remaster.
the remaster. Okay,
Yeah.
The rest is kind of
That's hilarious.
Smashing
3
Pumpkins?
good songs
That is
for
not
the
true.
Pumpkins.
That's not true.
Yeah.
damn.
Pumpkins over here.
It,
But
okay,
yeah.
you get
It's a
past
Rancid,
Billy
I don't-
Corgan.
Casual alert.
If you can get past Billy Corgan, like phenomenal band. So
Just got to
good.
get past Billy Corgan, like as a person,
as a person.
as
Yeah.
pretentious as he is.
Oh my god. I'm sorry, I can't talk about it.
But no, we got sidetracked. We were talking about expensive tickets, and I was like, I was gonna see Pearl Jam. They only did like 10 or 12 shows all year. Like this is a really small touring year for them. They were all on the East Coast, and because they were so limited in touring this year, tickets were like $900 resale.
See, which is crazy because like Pearl Jam, like their whole thing was like fighting Ticketmaster.
Like we hate Ticketmaster. We're not like we have Pearl Jam to thank for Coachella because they were the first ones to do a show in that town where
Mhm.
Coachella is now because
Oh,
they
yeah?
it wasn't a Ticketmaster venue at the
Is that
time.
when
And now
he climbed the thing?
that would no, I think I know
Oh.
that's from earlier on in their career, I think. But I have seen the clip you're talking about. But yeah, now that like
every sound engineer's nightmare, he's going down using the
Yeah, using
microphone
mic-
cable
I've
as a
seen that
rope.
clip. Yeah, I've seen that clip.
He was like 60 feet up. I don't know how high it was.
yeah, like if he would have fallen, it would have been like
Probably
Oh, it
would've
would've been
died.
Cable.
disaster on TV.
Yeah.
You guys remember Dave
Um,
Focus Foot? That one?
but yeah, their whole thing was like we hate Ticketmaster. And now that Ticketmaster is basically a monopoly, like they sold out these like hockey, basketball arenas, like 20,000 people each, guaranteed, and resale was like $900 because they were only doing like a dozen shows all year.
That makes me so sad.
They said if you can't beat him, join him.
Yes.
I mean, they kind of have no other choice at this point.
No,
It's
Yeah.
either Ticketmaster or Access or sell them yourself, you know.
Yeah.
No, we know how that goes.
But okay, one last question and then we'll wrap things up. If you guys could collaborate with any artist in history, dead or alive, who you picking?
Nirvana. Sorry.
Nirvana?
Nirvana.
I mean, the drummer from Nirvana, he looks like that guy in that other band. I'm sure you could get him for something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Didn't
Who's
he cheat
that
his
other
wife,
band?
like twice.
Who? Wait. Don't air out his dirty laundry.
Oh my bad.
On live TV. Wait, so Jerry, what's yours?
Is it okay? Do they have to be an artist or could they be a producer?
Could be anybody in the music industry. Yeah.
Okay, so if it's an artist, it's Frank Iero from My Chemical Romance and
Okay.
Ellis Tunes, because that dude is the embodiment of everything I love about music.
Mhm.
And if it's a producer, Rick freaking Rubin,
Rick Rubin. I mean,
the
thing
music
with
whisperer.
the music whisper, but for me, I feel like he has just as many hits as he does misses. I don't know. Like Death Magnetic by
Never stopped
Metallica.
playing.
Death Magnetic by Metallica and the Loudness Wars is one. I have an original CD copy of that and it sounds horrendous. But then
Death
for
Magnetic.
every Death Magnetic, there's like what Slipknot album did he produce? Volume 3, was it? That one
Oh,
sounds good.
Was that the 04 one?
I don't know. I can't remember. It was either All Hope Is Gone or Volume 3 that he produced. But either way, it sounds good. The Johnny Cash ones he did sounds good. The Chili Peppers ones he did sounds good.
The System of a Down records.
System of a Down?
Records. Like their debut, specifically their debut. And, Toxicity, that's for, everybody. But I think their debut was like, wow.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, that's the thing with me and Rick Rubin is like, for every album I like of his, there's another one where I'm like, did you really have to do it like that? But I respect the choice. Who hasn't gone yet?
Tess and Noah.
Tess. Well,
Fall Out Boy.
Oh, you
Fall
have
Out Boy? That's an easy one. I tend to prefer later era Fall Out Boy. But
I like
I like Fall Out Boys. Yeah, like 2013 and after.
What?
Oh no.
Yeah, I know, I'm a rarity.
Very odd.
Dude, I'll remember that for centuries.
Oh.
I'm sorry.
No, you had to hit the low-hanging fruit. It was funny.
Yeah.
That was kind of genius, though.
That was genius.
Dude,
All right.
sometimes
No, do you
it's
want to go? Or do you
right
want me to
in
go?
Yeah, I would say the Strokes. Or
The Strokes?
something
Okay.
like,
I've
Or
been
like-
getting more into the Strokes lately. I actually just went to the record store the other day and I got this.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Like I have it right here because I've already packed up all my CDs and then I went and bought more. But yeah,
Well,
I've been getting more into them lately. I'm kind of going in chronological order and I just got to this point. So
And I bet like Jack Antonoff would give us some really good like poppy vibes, that we
well,
could.
speaking of the Strokes, it's pretty much confirmed that Rick Rubin's producing their next record.
Yeah.
There you go. That's a crossover. I guess they did some sessions. Can't remember where they met. It was somewhere in the Caribbean like 2 years ago with Rick Rubin to record, and the record is still not out yet. So,
Although I saw Julian, he posted something and somebody
just like today.
yeah,
Yeah, it was pretty recent.
record, and he just put a thumbs down emoji.
Yeah, and then he made
Oh.
another post today and was like, "I'm busy working on the Voids right now. Please don't ask me about the Strokes." And all the comments are like, "But what about the Strokes? What about the Strokes?"
Oh yeah. And I love the Voids, so I don't mind.
Yeah, and then for me, it's gonna be a tie between either Chevelle or Wolfgang Van Halen because that guy is so fucking talented.
Both really respectable options.
Yeah, like I remember seeing him because he opened for Metallica when they came here, and I remember sitting in the stands just with my head in my hands. I'm like, I'm so mad I didn't write that fucking song. Like Take a Bow, that song is so fucking good. He just released a new single like a couple days ago, popped up on my Apple Music, and I was like, oh my God, is this a new song?
Well, and when you think about like obviously he has the musical talent of his family, but at the same time, like he was on it was like called The Right Kind of Truth or something, the last Van Halen album from like 2012. He was like 17 playing bass on that because Michael Anthony had I guess he didn't agree with what they were doing with the reunion, so Michael Anthony wasn't there and Wolfgang was on bass for that album. So he's been doing this professionally since he was in high school.
I mean,
15 years ago.
I mean, you're also like the son of one of the greatest guitar players to ever walk the face of the earth. Like if I was Eddie Van Halen's son too, I would play every instrument. Yeah, like
I'm sure he came out of the womb. Yeah, I saw a video of him the other day playing drums.
Well,
like, I'm sure he came out of the womb multi-talented.
Sure on the record, he plays everything.
Really?
Sings. I'm pretty sure don't quote me on it, but I'm pretty sure he plays everything.
That's
I know
crazy.
originally Eddie also played drums too.
Mm-hmm.
So and then because he was playing in a band and he was originally the drummer of the band. I forget what band it was, but then him and his guitar player were like, "Man, fuck this," and they swapped.
Yeah.
And then he was a guitarist, and they started playing. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So they play everything.
That's like with System of a Down. They had the guitarist and the bassist, and they switched instruments.
They're like, you know what?
Everything got better.
Yeah.
No, they switched. I think I can't even remember how long.
I don't know if that's how Eddie Van Halen started playing guitar. I'm pretty sure he was playing guitar before that. But
yeah.
That's
okay. So to kind of put a bow on things, where can fans find you on social media?
They can find us on Instagram with just type in @myupsidedown5. They can find us on TikTok with the same username @myupsidedown5. They can find us on Facebook if you type in My Upside Down.
No five.
No five.
I didn't know that.
We are on SoundCloud. Our artist name. We're in the process of setting up Bandcamp because I didn't know about doing that, but
gotta get that money somehow. Bandcamp Fridays.
Yeah,
Fridays.
yeah.
What's that? I've never heard
It's I think it's like I don't know if they do it every week, but they give like all of the royalties to the artist.
Oh, nice.
of that. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sign up, please.
I don't know if it's weekly or monthly or something, but I do know Bandcamp Fridays is a big thing.
No
That's
Bandcamp.
cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
if you want us to come to the
Bandcamp's
Midwest,
the
support us
goat.
on Bandcamp Fridays.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Specifically on Fridays. Don't buy them any other day.
All,
No, for real.
Any other day, just Friday.
all the Missouri homies, man.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And then the one question I end every interview with is kind of a fun one. What's everyone's favorite song at the moment? Like you're on repeat.
Oh, my on repeat right now.
Jared,
Can I
Do not look at your phone.
Come on.
Yeah.
There's
Oh,
so many.
oh,
If
it's
it's
on
on repeat, it's in your head.
Okay, I have a song.
If
Okay,
you don't have it in your brain, it's not on repeat. That's how I feel.
All right. Well, I'll go first then.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna look at my phone. I've been listening to "Lovers Rock" by Sade a lot recently.
Okay.
I love that vibe.
What's
Who wants to go
everyone?
next?
I don't know. Everyone's
I don't
nervous
know.
now.
The Rain song, Led Zeppelin.
Ooh.
Okay. I can respect that.
Like,
Yo, it's good.
the first time I ever heard that song,
Mhm.
I literally cried.
Oh,
Really?
Wasn't it
Wow.
made out of spite? Like somebody was like, "You can never make a song like this," and then they wrote the Rain song
Dude,
to
I don't
spite
know.
them.
I don't know. All I know is like it's majestic.
That
Okay.
used to be my
Yeah.
go-to Led
It is
Zeppelin
majestic.
song.
That's a
It
good
is-
one.
Yeah.
It's just great.
I'm changing my answer from before. It's Led Zeppelin, and then like if it's like all of us, then it's I think Trent Reznor would be fun.
Oh,
But
Fun to
anyway.
work with? Yeah.
I think mine right now, since Peach Pit is coming to town and me and my
Mm.
girlfriend are seeing them next week, it's probably going to be Already Aphrodite by Peach Pit.
Nice.
Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I guess Tess has volunteered as tribute.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've been listening to I've been really into Silverstein lately. Just
Mhm.
not one specific song, just all of Discovering the Waterfront. I've had it on repeat for
So good.
for like 2 months straight.
So good.
Okay. I got to get more into Silverstein. I'll be honest. So
Here's where I think you should start. If you started anywhere, the song "Ides of March."
Yes.
The
Ides
song
of March.
"Ides of March." It's an album cut that did not get as much of its flowers as it should have.
Mhm.
That's the song that keeps me coming back to the album every time.
Okay. And then you're the only one left to give your favorite song.
But what was
Go
the song
home.
that got you into him though?
Your sword versus my dagger.
Yes.
I can't talk,
Yeah,
but
yes.
that was
I like
like
Red
my
Light.
first
Because they got the
song.
polyrhythm riff at the beginning. Anyways, I'm a big fan of them. Right now, it's the Fall Out Boy song from "Take This to Your Grave." Tell that Mick he made my list of things to do.
Okay.
That song is good.
I will say, as much as I prefer newer Fall Out Boy, I am a fan of their older songs with the long titles. A song of your guys with the long title is "This Town Wasn't Big Enough for the Both of Us." Everyone should go stream that. I'll throw that in the bucket as my pick if I'm gonna.
That's
give it.
all.
That's a band favorite. I love that you said that.
Yeah.
That's our band favorite song.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was the one. It was the one that stood out to me on the EP the most, specifically because of the title.
Yeah.
Nice.
I'm glad.
Nice.
I'll say this: the alternate title for that song was going to be "Are You Gonna Cowboy Up or Just Lie There and Bleed?"
No, it was not.
That was
What?
my alternate title.
That was
my
your alternate title.
Yeah.
There was also another.
There
one
was
before
3
that.
alternate titles.
It was.
Don't let this. No, that's
No, that it was Devil's Advocate.
Oh, you're
You play Devil's Advocate
so much. I'm starting to think you are one, or are him, or are.
Uh-huh.
It was long.
It was
Yeah,
long.
well, I'm glad you guys ended on the other one.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It
Yeah,
actually
we ended
caused
on
a
that
little
one.
bit of a spiff. It
I
caused
was
a little
against
bit of a.
It almost broke up the band from the sounds of it.
It almost broke up the band.
on the album that both ended with us.
Yeah.
Okay,
they're
okay,
Back to
But they're
back.
both really
Oh,
good.
see, that's why we added parentheses. at the
And
end.
then Devil's Jazz made it into the parentheses. There you go.
Yeah.
But that's just what we called it.
Devil's Jazz. Because of
Okay.
that.
Easier to call jazz
Put on
than
a-
say
It's easier to just say that than the whole mouthful, yeah. But hey, it was great having you guys on. Thank you so much for joining me. Everyone, go check out my Upside Down anywhere you get your music. Bandcamp soon. And go see them live if you're in the area.
Yes,
Thanks,
nice.
everyone. And we'll see you later. Peace out.
Thank you so much,
Yeah.
Tristan.
Bye. Have a good one.